for another Take Out Your Tools Tuesday, and I brought out my bin of cutters. So these are like large cutting systems, basically is what they are. And I have a set of Creative Memories. Now I have the large set from Creative Memories, and it comes with this really cool template that tells me which blade I use in this track, what size circles I have, and which blade I use in this track, what circles I have. So that's pretty cool. I like this one. I love the blades. They look like this. And they've got the 3 different colors. So if you use this blade, you'll get this one, this blade, you'll get this one, and this one, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. Then I also have this really cool little one. It came as a 3 set. And it comes with the little template as well. So if you use blue, red, or green, you get this one on the outside track. Same with the inside on both circles. All right. And then it also, mine came as a set. So mine came just like this back in the day when it first like was coming out type thing. So I don't know how they're sold now. I think they're all sold individually. Like you have to buy the cutting mat, and then you have to buy the blades, and then you have to buy whatever shape you want. I think they have like a hexagon, a circle, an oval, and maybe a rectangle, like a rounded rectangle. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll pretend like I do know. Okay. The next thing that I have is, I don't know, because I don't use them. If you guys could see the dust on these things, you'd be embarrassed, just like me. So the next thing that I have is called a curvy cutter. Now it takes this little thing right here. Woo! Okay. And it's got a little blade inside that pops in and out, kind of like a Cricut blade. And then it also pops on the line. You've got this line and 4 lines total. Okay, so you'll pop it right here, and then you pop it in. You get another circle in, and then based on what track you put this in, you get all of these circles. Now I had to cut this template using very light pressure, so that way it wouldn't go all the way through, but I still backed it with washi just in case I did go through on some spots like so. So basically what I did was, if I was in the track labeled black and I put it on 1, 2, 3, or 4, I got these outer circles here. Here's the red track and the blue track. Now where the colors are right inside here. Okay, so you've got black, red, and blue, and then where you put the little feetsies, which are these guys right here, they're not magnetic, they're just little like flat rolling ball bearings, but they're not balls. So you just put them in the track like so. Down in here you can see, and then you go around in a circle. Okay, all right, so I made one. Whoa, I made one for I made a template for the circle track. I have not done one for the oval track because I don't do a whole lot of ovals. I just, wow, that's embarrassing. Don't look at my dust. Please excuse the dust. I don't do a whole lot of ovals. This just came in a kit that I bought at a yard sale. I think I got it for like 10 bucks because the lady thought she wanted it and she did not. So I got all of this in a kit and have no clue what to do with it. And I've never used it. I made a template and that was it. So this one did not come with its little like guide like this one does. So this one came with a guide, and it pops nice and neat inside. So if you pull it out, and then it pops just nice and neat, and it tells you if you are on black and you had the very first little nubbin out, you would cut this one right here. It's a 5x5. All right. So, and it's actually lying, it's a 3/8 of an inch off on everything. So that's what I found out by cutting the circles, that they were off. And then I have the large circle, I have the large oval, and I have the large square of these little curvy cutters. I won't be using the curvy cutters. I just wanted to show you guys that I had these for what I don't know, and why I haven't gotten rid of them, that I also don't know. I know that these oval ones are not my thing. I just have not made a template for the oval ones just yet. And then this weird circle-ish square thing, again, also doesn't meet my fancy. It doesn't start meeting my fancy until, where's it at? Like, these circles were awesome. And I'll tell you why I got the circle ones. But it doesn't meet my fancy until you get to the blue track. And wow, that's dusty too. Please excuse my dust. I am so sorry. But yeah, it doesn't start looking like a square until you reach the blue track on the inner portion of this one. Other than that, they just don't meet my fancy, you guys. They're not my shapes that I usually use. So I have all of these. And then this one, oh, I was going to tell you guys why I wanted this one, this circle. Where did it go? It's right here. It popped out. I wanted this. Why did I want this? Because I wanted to complete these circles. So if you lay this down on here and then look at it, well, you guys really can't see it. But if I laid these tracks, which is red, green, and blue, down on this one right here, it completes my circles. So then I have all of these circles that go in and coordinate with all of these circles. Does that make sense? So that's why I wanted this one, but the lady was selling it as a set. I couldn't say, no thanks on the others, I just want the circles. So I brought out a piece of cardstock. Clearly it's scrap from something that did not cut all the way from my Cricuts. And so we are going to cut out some circles. Now, what kind of circles do I want? Now, if I wanted to use this piece, and I thought, okay, I can do a 5.5-inch circle, or I can go all the way to doing a 6-inch circle to a 6.5-inch circle. I could even, whoops, this is what I want. Sometimes these are a pill, sometimes they're not. I could even go all the way and say, oh, I could use lint. Lint be gone. Oh my god, you guys. Nope, that's not lint. That is part of the thing. I could even go as far as like cutting on the inside of the track, cutting on the outside of the track. It all depended on what I wanted to use this piece for, but I could still use a good chunk of this piece without throwing this away. All right. So basically what you do is you decide which one you want. And I decide, okay, I want a 4, not a 4. I want to use the red circle for this one. Okay. And I always put this mat. If you have other self-healing mats, by all means, you don't need to purchase this, especially if they're not sold as a set anymore. By all means. I just keep this around because it came with my goodies. So I'm going to use a blue one. I'm going to use the red one on the outside. I want the blue one on the inside. Okay. And I start at the top because it is easier for me to pull down than it is for me to pull up. Okay. And of course, I didn't use enough pressure, so go me. But I'm going to throw this away. Oh, nice. That's why I decided to stop it. Oh, I get it now. All right. So I'm going to put this back. I'm going to eyeball it because clearly I wasn't supposed to move it, but I did. I really wanted to show you guys how those cut. And this is a little thicker paper than I usually do. It's paper that I use for the store. Alright, so now I'm going to use the red one to cut the outside of my circle. And again, I am just going to start at the top because it is easier for me to pull down than to push up. Okay, there we have it. Now these blades, they rotate inside the little carriage. So you don't have to do any of the work. It does it for you by putting the two little feet in, and then it pulls the blade based on where you started it. So again, it's easier for me to pull down than it is for me to push up, but because how large the circle is, I have to do that. And remember to push pressure on it, to put pressure on it. Push, put, same thing, right? Okay, and now I have my circle that I wanted for my project. Now, if I didn't want to throw this away, sorry, squirrel, just reminds me of something. I could take these other pieces. Now, I could take this. I usually don't, but I could take this and see what the largest one is. And for this one, it's green. And for this one, it's red. Was that one red too? Nope, it's green on this one. So clearly I wasn't in the center. This one is also green, and this one is also green. So if I wanted 3 more circles, it was this one that we were looking at, and I center this in right in the center. I center it in the center, yes I do, which is basically I'm looking at all of my edges because I'm not going to be able to, excuse my melon, and this one was the red one. I know that I'm not going to be able to like put it all the way, like it's going to be touching the edges. But I also know that because this is where I need to put my thing, this is where I need to put my track, the blade sits in that much farther, right? So I'm going to be cutting within here. So I know it's going to work. And I'm just going to push around. Now it is very important to keep pressure on this because then your paper will slide if you do not, okay? All right, so there is one circle that I got with my fingernail. That was nice. And then this one is a lot smaller. You can now see all the edges. So I cannot use this one. So I'll pull out my green one because that's the one that it told me I could even, if I was going to eyeball it, I could even definitely pull out my blue one. I'm going to put a lot of pressure on it. Start from the top and go up, okay? The key is to not move the track. This is the track, and you don't want to move that track. All right, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Here we go. All right, and one more because we don't want to waste paper. No, we do not. And I'm just trying to eyeball. Just trying to eyeball it. And there we go. So there are my really cool circles. And I cut them out of white because I think that I am going to do some mixed media. All right, so now I am going to very distractingly messy these circles up. So I'm taking some Nuvo drops in like a clear green color, which it won't matter what color it is. I was actually looking for clear itself, but I took it in clear green, and I was just going to get some fish. I wanted some fish all over my little circles. I don't know why, but after I created this large circle, I thought I was like, oh darn, I should have turned this into, you know, one of those ship wheels. I think it's called a helm. I don't really remember. But I wanted to just make these circles fishy and blue, and that was the first thought that I had. But somewhere in the middle, I thought that actually it's later in the creating of the layout that I decided I wanted to I should have done something different with this circle. So I went and I pulled out some sprays. Now I totally forgot to pull out my my spray box to do this, and so I make a mess, you guys. I usually do not use my messy mat for my sprays, like at all. None. So basically what I'm trying to do is I am trying to get my circles all covered up in blue. And then I'm going to mop up my mess using a couple sheets of white cardstock and then also my Use It Up journal. So once I do that, I do take a, not a wipey, but a paper towel, and I clean off some of the fish. But some of the sprays that I use, they do not, they soaked right into the Nuvo, which I was okay with. I am perfectly fine. But there was a lot left over on this mat. So I used 2 pieces of white cardstock, and then I used my my Use It Up journal, and then I used some scraps of white cardstock that I had available. I also sprayed one of those color ready border strips that I have from Close to My Heart from way back when, like we're talking 2009 back when. So, and I'm still playing with these 6x6, I forgot what they were called, you guys. I'm still playing with the 6x6 little squares. I will be playing with them for the next 5 weeks, just to let you guys know if you get bored of looking at them. And then I decided to go through my scrap cardstock and pull out some blue that I wanted because I didn't have any in 6x6, or I would have pulled it out there. So I pulled out 2 little strips, and I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do, but I decided that the row of photos that I want down below, I want to kind of make a photo mat for them, and then I'm going to gut out this mat for my focal photo up at the top. So yeah. That's basically all I did. You're not going to see it. Why waste all that paper that's just going to be hidden behind? The pattern paper that I'm using is actually from Stampin' Up, and it is sturdy enough to where I didn't have to worry about, needing that extra cardstock to make it a little bit more sturdier. So now I decided to take this knot idea that was on the back of my print, and I want to bring it forward to, in front of my photos. And I thought it was just a nifty little knot, and I was like, oh, I can do that. Yeah, see, yay, I did it. So I am just going to do it at the top and at the bottom. I didn't want my photos to just be a row of photos, you guys. I wanted them to be like, Cora is fishing in the ocean, and she just caught her first fish, and Grandpa's helping her pull it up, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is just amazing. And I wanted it to be like progression photos, and so I wanted them to be just as special as the focal photo is. So you could just tell the look on her face that she was impressed that big old fish was what she pulled out of the ocean. So, and it was fun. It was fun and worth getting up at, dark 30 in the morning to go fishing. Those people are nuts, by the way. I'm nuts because I wanted pictures. I knew that nobody else would take pictures. So, anywho, I am pulling in some red. I know that there is absolutely no red whatsoever in the photos. And I wasn't going to pull in purple for my daughter's jacket. And actually, this is weird, but my youngest daughter now wears that jacket, by the way. I just realized that. She still wears it to this day. So, oh my gosh. My kids just don't grow up fast enough. This is from 2011, by the way. I am slowly but surely working my way through all of my albums and getting pages done. So these are wooden pieces that I am testing new wood for inside my shop. And this will be a new design that will be available in my shop, but I am trying new wood. I'm not really sure if I actually like this wood. The images don't seem dark enough. but I wanted to test them out and see what they look like. And yeah, you guys get a little sneaky peek of what's going to come up in March. Oh my gosh, close your eyes, don't look. Anyways, I also wished that I had made the fishing pole in the opposite direction, because it was the perfect angle where Grandpa is holding the fishing pole. And I thought, no, I really wanted it over here on the left. So no, it's okay. Oh my gosh, I am just so wishy-washy, you guys. And now I'm checking out these little fish stickers that I got off of, one of those tables that you go to a retreat and people put their stuff. It's like a take one, leave one table. And so I picked up some of these little fishies and thought that they were perfect, because I don't have any fishing stuff. That's why I had to, make my own. I made several different lures to go with the fishing pole, because I know that there are several different types of fishing out there. And so I wanted to be able to capture them all, just for those that have different types of fishing. We do fly fishing, and we do, this is actually deep sea fishing. So the pole I know is 10 times longer than the pole that is on the layout. But I only have so much space. Anyways, so I thought that I would kind of dress up this fishing pole a little bit, and I'm trying my zoom in tactics again. I'm still not very good at it, you guys. In fact, I put glue on my little, I'm going to wrap the twine around this little piece of cardstock, and I spent half the time wrapping it off camera. So yay, go me. I'm not very good, you guys, but I wanted it to look like it was wrapped around the reel. I just didn't want to wrap it around the wood, because then it wouldn't lay flat on my layout. So, and of course I get this red ink everywhere. I don't like playing with red ink, but hey, such is life, and it doesn't really show up on the layout. So now I'm going to follow the grooves that are in the fishing pole design and just lay this twine down. I absolutely love this twine, you guys. And happy, I found that I had another roll of it. Yay! Oh my gosh, I did such a happy dance. You guys should have seen it. It was hilarious. My kids think I'm nuts, but that's okay. They're related to me, so guess what? They're going to be nuts soon too. Anyways, I am just following the groove, and I am going to make my fishing line go along, and I really kind of like it. At first I was like, oh, you can't even tell. I did all that work and you can't tell. But I like it. Here it is. I think that it adds a little bit more to the layout. And I did decide, I was bragging about something, I don't remember, but I did decide that I wanted another red strip, that I did, the border that I spray painted or sprayed red. I wanted another one of those up at the top. So I'm kind of just messing with my mat until that dries, which I really got impatient, you guys. I really did. But I also, what I wanted to do originally with this circle didn't really work out, the large circle. It didn't work out. And so now I'm trying to not let it go to waste and trying to figure out where can I put this circle while I'm waiting for my red piece to dry, because I am massively impatient trying to get this to dry. So finally figure out what I'm going to do with my large circle, even though I do kind of sort of just end up cutting most of it off, but that's okay. I figured out what I wanted to do. My red piece is dried, so now I am committing and I am gluing and I am doing all of the things. I did have to get a new bottle of the Nuvo adhesive that I love to use. That is the liquid adhesive that I'm using. I did have to buy a new one. You guys keep an eye out on tonicstudios.com, because every now and then they have a huge sale of this Nuvo adhesive where you get 3 bottles in one, and it is a great price. I think it's like $17 for 3 bottles, and I bought mine last year and I'm on my 2nd bottle. So they do last, especially if you don't scrapbook, like a layout a day, they will definitely last you. And I try to do a layout a day at least. And I say at least, but I do have other commitments where I have to do more than that. So anywho, I am just gluing all the things back in place. Now, my double-sided tape, my ATG tape, does not like washi tape. It is the only thing that I can't get to stick to. I can get it to stick to foam, I can get it to stick to anything but washi tape. So I did have to use my liquid glue to glue all that down, and I was bragging about something and totally forgot to talk about it. So I'm talking about it now while I'm gluing the things down on the paper. This little wood piece says we're hooked, and it's so super cute. I'm not too happy with this wood, you guys. I don't think that I want to bring it in. Yeah, I'm glad that I tried it, but I'm just not sure that I like it. It's not dark enough for me. The image doesn't pop like the other wood that I've been using. So just gluing down all the things and deciding where I want my little fishies. Had to kind of sort of pop this wood piece back off because I wanted the fishie's tail to tuck underneath and I forgot. But that's okay. The glue hadn't set just yet. Plus, trying to glue a wooden piece on multiple layers, it will only stick to the upper layer. Wood doesn't bend like some items do, and so it was pretty much not even glued to anything anyway. So I'm kind of glad that that popped off instead of popping off later and gluing where I don't want it to glue. Yeah. So I am going to take the other part of my string that I strung on my fishing pole and attach it to this lure over here. I'm also going to decide that I want these stringy bits to be on all the other lures that I put, or hooks. One's a lure and the other one's a hook. All the way around my layout. It is kind of one of those, are you sure? Do I want to? Why not? It needed something down in that little cluster down below because there wasn't much in there. It was a circle, a knot, and a fish, and now it's got string, and I absolutely love it. I was going to do red enamel dots all over the place, and I thought, no, the pop of red is just fine. I don't need red dots all over the place. I'm good. But I did put some string up here. And at first I wasn't sure if I wanted it to just go over the title. And then I thought, no, I don't like that. So I am going to take a few minutes and try to tuck it in between the two wooden pieces, and my scissors are too thick, so I have to go and get some tweezers, and then I already had glue on it, so I mean it was just like, really, I'm sticking to everything. That's what it is. I'm sticking to everything. So basically where the string or twine looped, that's what I'm gluing to my layout, and it's just a teeny tiny little dab of glue and it sticks. It does take a few seconds to hold it in place. And if you hold it too long, your fingers stick to the twine. And so it's kind of like one of those, you have to get it just right type things. Either that or I'm doing it the hard way because that's how I roll. So I decided to move this larger piece up at the top as well. I just wanted to use up as much as I could. I mean, I put the effort into making it, and I couldn't imagine using it on another layout. So I just went ahead and I cut it up. Now this is the bottom part of the circle that I cut off of the bottom, and I was seeing if it went somewhere, and it does not, so it doesn't stay. But here it is. This is my layout. It's a sneak peek of what is gonna come into my shop here soon as I decide what type of wood I want. I also don't like the scorch marks that it made, so yeah, I don't think I'm gonna switch wood, you guys. But it was good to venture out. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me today. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Here are the close-ups of all of the little goodies I added to this layout. I had so much fun, and I hope you guys pull out those circle cutters and get to cutting your own. See ya.